Let me reread them first. So international hiring isn't happening between the studios. That's a question. As I run a studio here in Australia, and we have been forced to branch out internationally, as Australians tend to lack work ethic. That is interesting. And in response to the asset question asked previously, are they using SpeedTree, and what is the budget? I don't think anyone wants to talk about the budget, but I guess you can. Yeah, up to
Okay,
you
so
for
real
the
quick,
answers.
I'm
Yeah.
just gonna drop the glitch video in the chat. Oh, it's not gonna give me. Oh,
I want.
yeah.
I can. Yeah. Perfect. Perfect. Perfect.
Yeah, you can find this game towards the end of the video. I think there's a chapter called console cures, and so I think it was there. So check it out. It's pretty hilarious. I mean, it's not hilarious for the people who suffer from this problem, but oh well, yeah, that was long enough time ago. So everything that happened long enough time ago can be funny. No, not really. Not really.
That in that situation, I'm sure. I mean, it's kind of funny, but it's more of a. Imagine how mad you will be. No, even imagine you're raging at that game and you want to delete that game. You want to like erase it from your life because it was the worst thing you've ever played, and then you get even more flippingly mad and you flip your desk after your drive is gone. You know.
Exactly. Hi, Komshu. Greetings from Istanbul. Hey.
Hey.
Nice.
Hey, but that's I just imagine the level of escalation happening.
Right. Yeah. I don't even know if how do you deal with this as a studio, as a developer, or as a publisher? I mean, you probably get sued a lot.
Oh yeah, probably.
Okay, so we were about to answer some questions about the budgets or whatever. Sorry about that. What was the question?
Question, yes, I'm just gonna have to scroll back a bit. So basically, Methods was talking about international happening, like in blah, 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 blah. International hiring isn't happening between the studios, question mark. Because he also has a studio in Australia and they have been forced to branch out internationally.
Yeah, because horrible work ethic. Yeah. All right. So yeah, we don't have right now. We don't have any international. Yeah, we don't have any international contracts. Actually, we've worked with people internationally before, usually freelancers. But in terms of constant contracts, we still don't have any. I'm totally open to that. It's just because we're still a small studio. We aren't, we're really slowly developing and growing. So we still haven't gotten to the point of getting foreign people from abroad into the team. But I'm totally open to that. Everybody's using English. I mean, we write all of our documentation in English. We write all of our designs in English, even though we're Bulgarian. So basically, it's not gonna be that hard for somebody to get integrated into our team if they wanted to, and if we, close the contract. What was the second question?
It was in response to the asset question that he have had. He's asking if you are using SpeedTree and what is the budget?
Not really. We're not using SpeedTree. Well, the budget for an indie studio of we are like 8 people, 7 people in the office. The 8th is like office manager. So in terms of budget, you can think of how do you say it, like how many digits is that? So basically, that would be like in the tens of thousands of dollars monthly. You need to support that team with that much cash flow. So it's a lot. It's a lot. Like, let's just say that if I didn't have to pay monthly so many people so much money, I could have gotten a lot of nice cars.
Yeah.
Yeah, and meanwhile, I'm watching my friends like who who work on a fat developer salary somewhere in another company. They like drive a Tesla or something. I'm like, oh, what's happening with my life? So I'm giving my money away. But yeah, it's I think it's worth it.
No, it's absolutely worth it because this is a passion, and I saw that you guys are actually very very down to earth, which I really, as an end user, and I feel like my community and yours community combined together really appreciate it because it's not an everyday thing where you sit and talk about game development, neither how people are going with their ideas, where you get the ideas from, how do you communicate with all the people. So, hands down, honestly, and I'm not saying just because you're my guest, hands down, because people nowadays forget the most important thing, that we are humans, we walk on the same earth, and we're not that much different from one another. Doesn't matter our social status and stuff like that. We are not that much different. We are humans.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely.
So hands down, I mean, I'm really mind blown from everything because if I'm pretty sure that if you ask, let's say, EA or Respawn, hey, what's your budget, or do you want to do an interview or anything, they'll be like, who are you? You gotta
Yeah,
pay us, exactly. And I'm pretty sure that there were also small indie companies currently existent or maybe no longer, on the market where they had the same kind of an attitude like they are the best and whatever they do and whatever they sell is, one of a kind situation. And of course, the ego that is building within them. So good job.
well,
And I
this
hope you
kind of
keep it within the time. I hope you really keep that because I really see the potential in the company and your team. Just be down to earth, and I feel like this is gonna win you even bigger fan base long term. Because
hopefully
yeah, believe me,
things.
it will. It will.
We're working hard on it, and yeah, we really want to do this as a passion. We don't want to. I mean, yeah, obviously we want to scale so we can make bigger projects, but we are people who, in the beginning when we started working with one of our partners, Sergey,
Mm-hmm.
he was working for such a small amount monthly that that wasn't enough to pay a rent even.
Mm.
But he
Yeah.
just believed in this idea, and we both believed in our idea, and we were just working together, and we did make some kind of sacrifice, I would say, in terms of financially,
Mm-hmm.
because you know, we're like in our 30s right now. I mean, almost in our 30s. Danny is actually 30 right now. I'm all this year I'm gonna turn 30 towards the end. But yeah, if you kind of sit back and watch your friends who are successful, working their day jobs and making really a lot of money and buying houses and cars and stuff like that, and you're like, I have a passion. It's great, and I really believe in my idea and everything. But is this a viable approach to life? Like, do I have enough
Yeah.
personal time? Do I have enough personal resources
Mm-hmm.
because of this idea and this
Yeah.
cause?
Yeah.
And we really want to keep this cause. We want to keep the integrity of this cause because we believe in making quality games, and we want to make games with meaning and not just like a lazy cash grab. We want to be proud of things
Absolutely.
we're working on, but at the same time there's the business side of things,
Of
which
course.
is relentless. It's really relentless. Like the most successful business entrepreneurs, they are really relentless, and believe me, I've spoken to a couple, and they really they just see numbers. They don't care about anything else,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah.
which is
I
really
know.
hard for a game developer, because when you do this out of passion, uh, you kind of tend to put the numbers aside, and you still need to feed the entire team. And yeah, it is a challenging thing. So a lot of indie studios are failing because of that. I cannot say that it's super easy for us as well. We are working hard. We are really working hard for our money. But hopefully, with time, we can like you say, we can preserve this
Yeah.
integrity,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
hopefully also we can kind of grow to a point that we can make another project that is a little bit bigger and more impactful, and just keep making good games. That's I hope this would happen someday. Let's see. Maybe yes, maybe not.
But hey, you have the spirit there. You have the passion. You have the fuel, the initial fuel that is driving you towards this whole creation and everything you do behind it. And in a lot of equations, it's also one of the formulas for success, because some people, they may do whatever, design or like go to work for something that they don't necessarily like, but when you actually love it and when you want to have that experience even yourself and challenge yourself to become better, to create something that a lot of people will also enjoy and see from the same perspective like you do, this is a formula for success. Because you work hard for it, you know why you're working hard for it. You're not just like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do it because I need this and this numbers. I'm not saying it's impossible to grow when you only see the numbers, but in my perspective, there should be a balance between the numbers and the experience.
Right.
There should be a balance, and you should be able to somehow balance between the middle, so you don't lose yourself in either direction. Because at some point, yeah, the numbers can also be important, because if you remember in the beginning of our conversation, you started like comparing how much people were on Apple Play and then how much you were on Steam, on the platform.
Yeah, it was a pretty drastic difference.
It is a drastic difference, but see, you also have to be aware about the numbers, so you can kind of like shift your business strategy and marketing towards the right direction. So yes, unfortunately, I don't like numbers myself, right? I don't think people who are more of like on level of pure experience and joy, vibe level, they like numbers, but it's still something important for our day-to-day life, unfortunately. And the magic numbers you love to work with at the same time.
Yeah. It is what it is. We live in a material world. We have to take care of our material bodies. Sometimes it's really tempting to go to call it quits and say, you know what am I doing with this game studio? I'm gonna go work for a fat salary and clean all my problems. But then something just keeps pulling me back into that. I don't know. Maybe I hate myself, but I just love doing this as well.
No. That is the passion that I'm talking about.
Yeah.
This is something that not all the people can experience. And like, if you have passion, that's why I always say to my friends and for people that I see a certain set of talent with them, because I've seen so many people that have a certain talent that they don't develop it. And they are like naturally good at it. They don't even have to try, you know what I mean?
Right.
They don't even have to try. And they're like, nah, this is boring. I don't want to do it. I'm like, yo, are you crazy?
Are you crazy? Yeah.
Like, do you know how much potential you have? Do you know how many people, especially for like artists, like a natural artist or editors and stuff like that, they haven't gone for school for even 1 hour, read one book about arts and stuff like that in their whole life, but they have it. And then you're like, nah, that's boring.
Well, actually, I've been dreaming of making games since I was like 4 years old. I got my first computer. That was 1997. We played games like Heretic, like Rayman.
I was just thinking how old I was in 1997. Okay, yeah, keep going.
Yeah. So ever since then, it kind of became my obsession to make games. So I was like I was finding myself walking down the street and just picturing how this experience right now, my life experience,
that's amazing,
would translate into a game. Yeah. And so I'm really happy to have the profession. Like from a very early age, I wanted to make video games. So this has been something I've been following throughout my whole life, actually.
That's amazing. And the questions are piling up. I don't think I'll be able to ask my questions, but it's fine. Don't worry. I'm gonna start a bit from behind, because I'm keeping on 2 screens the chat open. One in the future, one in the past. So I can keep an eye on what's going on.
Somebody asked about advertisement and that's a very, very painful topic.
Methods ask for advertisement. And it's really painful because I will say part of the answer, because right now everything changes so freaking fast, and all the analytics and all the arithmetics are just all over the place. You can't really say what's the best. thing to do. But
You
go
never
on.
know what the algorithm is gonna like. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the problem is with marketing is you are a game studio, so you make games. You're
Yeah.
not a marketing studio, so you don't market.
But you
And
need a market.
but you need to market. So what you can do is hire somebody to do that for you, which is a little bit more challenging for me, at least. I've come to find than what I expected. So usually when we find somebody, they're even not gonna do a good job, maybe even disappear as well, things like that. So and it's hard because you have to manage them. You have to figure out what their strategy is, and they don't. If they don't, if they're not super into the product, they may not have a great marketing approach.
Yeah.
So the best person to be marketing this game would be one of the people who is making the game, who is designing the game, because they know who this game is for and how they need to kind of grab their attention.
Yeah.
But these people are busy making the game. So, and hiring a separate person inside a studio just for that role is usually quite expensive. It's needed, it's important, but if you can afford it, then definitely go for it. Like, for example, maybe go for another marketing PR person instead of another developer.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's super important, but at the same time, it's not so easy to find somebody who can do that job well and who can utilize the money you're spending on them. And another problem is, basically, it's the market is super saturated. So you're one game out of millions of games.
Yeah. Absolutely.
For 2021, I think the statistics for Steam was like every month, 800 new games got released.
Whoa.
Every
800.
month, 800, up to 10,000 games per year get released. Just on Steam, just on one platform.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa. I didn't even know.
Exactly. Now imagine,
Wow.
imagine how many other games they don't even get released because either funding is not enough or the project gets. But they are also spamming and posting on social media. And you as a gamer, your attention is like being stolen all the time from every possible corner of the internet. And being able to position yourself somewhere around the headliners who are going to steal your attention, that you're going to even see the video, is very hard. Organic traffic is very hard. Yeah, you've come to see that.
800. Well. Yes, 800.
Yeah.
My goodness.
So it's the marketing is very painful, very hard, and it's very important. I would even say it's more important than having a good game, because having a well marketed bad game is gonna make you more money than having a good game but without market. So that's
interesting,
kind of world we live in. Yeah.
But yeah, you're kind of right about that. You're kind of right. I'm just trying to relate from my end user point of view when I'm like stumbling upon games out there and stuff like that. But yeah, and we specifically have to talk about indie studios or smaller studios, or the type of studios that start to kind of break through the market. I don't know if you still call them at that point indie studios, maybe yes. But in any case, it's in my opinion, the good games also deserve their own spotlight, and they also deserve to be as promoted as everything else around that we are getting as advertisements. Because EA, they're fine. Sony, they're fine. All the rest of the they're fine. They have it natural. They can say boop, we're done, and people will be like buying, no matter what kind of a game it is. Still there will be enough of people buying it. I remember getting myself paying for Cyberpunk when it got released. On the moment when it got released. And I still sad that I didn't get a refund. I still haven't finished the game since, although it has been fixed, patched, whatever.
At least you didn't pre-order it, right?
I don't remember, but I bought it on the moment when it got out.
Okay, so hopefully you didn't pre-order it and you're not that much part of the problem. Because
Yeah,
yeah, that game
I mean,
got a lot of pre-orders.
yeah, I know, it's crazy, and it was also sad to see that it was not like, especially after the hype, because this is what I thought when you were saying like bad games with the good marketing, you know. I wouldn't say it's a bad game. Like if it was done in the way it's supposed to be done with less bugs and stuff like that, you know. But it still kind of gives me that vibe when you were saying those words just for a bit there. It was giving
Right.
me that exact vibe. Wait, I've had this experience. Very amazing advertisement. I'm not usually a person that's gonna play Cyberpunk if it wasn't that hyped, you know. I mean,
Right, right.
maybe I will, but not. I'll be like sitting and considering it for a longer time and be like, should I buy it or should I not? But anyways, I was like, this is the release date, so I'm waiting at that hour, that time, and in the store, and I'm just gonna be like buying it. And we're not talking about $10, $20. We're talking about over $60, you know, for the game.
Right. Yeah. 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 And that was
And
supposed to be a
then
AAA game.
the quality you're getting, and it was like, really, all that hype, you know, because people also are like hyping. I think in marketing strategy, what those big companies are doing, not only, you know, promoting in YouTube, advertisements all over Facebook, Instagram, yada yada yada. I feel like they're also hiring people to spread the hype, because all the rest of the people on social media be like, oh, this person, you know, that sounds pretty, you know, legit. It sounds from like for instance, it sounds like I'm gonna go speak with my friend, he's gonna say to me how amazing this is and yada yada yada,
Right.
you
Yeah.
know. And they're
Exactly.
like
I've
getting
been thinking about that. Yeah.
I mean, that is one of the things that I've personally seen, especially for, because when I used to scroll more back in the days in Facebook feed, and all those like paid advertisements were like a known product that probably is more chemical and radioactive than any other element in the that exists out there. And the comments are, oh, this is so amazing, this is so great, I have it, I recommend it, you know. And that I started seeing that more and more and more frequently. So that's one of the
Oh
things
yeah.
that creates the so-called fake and fake hype, you know, just to get the sales done faster.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And this is something we're lacking as a studio. I wish we had it, maybe even.
Sorry.
But we're lacking at it. We're lacking it. So yeah, that's why I said it's a painful topic, because it's like it's very hard, because it's already hard to develop the game, and it's even harder to market it.
Yeah.
And you have to kind of do it yourself most of the time when you're a smaller studio.
Yeah, of course. Doing it and aka figuring out this whole thing, because yeah, it's basically a figure out. I've been watching myself so many like marketing lessons on YouTube, gurus, what else not.
Yeah,
And
I've
then I
come to
was
find
like,
out that gurus are
oh yeah,
giving you just outdated information, or just plain wrong information. Usually, if
or
you
yeah.
follow somebody who is openly giving you advice, it never works.
Oh yeah,
Because
absolutely.
if it does work, they're not gonna be
Oh,
giving it to
exactly.
you.
Oh, yeah. No, 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 no. So I kind of stopped doing that, watching and reading, and oh, this is the best way it works and stuff like that. And I
Yeah,
kind of like started experimenting myself too,
right.
and watch my own stats and use my whatever is left in here to to, you know, kind of place myself within the whole algorithm, and what can I do, what can I use, what time, because the time is very important when you post it. So I
Right.
kind of will can answer the questions of methods. Yes, marketing is important. It's very essential and crucial part of, no matter if you're a content creator, game studio, person that have a business in general, look at it from a business point of perspective, marketing and advertisement is a must. No matter how good you are, no matter what kind of miracles you do or what kind of products you develop, if you don't have a market, if you don't have an audience, it's
I
that's
think
just gonna go out there by itself.
our entire generation needs to deal with this. Basically, if we're gonna be making any kinds of businesses, we need to be out there in the socials, making some
Yeah.
sort of marketing efforts.
Of
And we're gonna
course.
face
And
similar problems.
networking. Let's not forget about networking, because
Right.
networking is, in my honest opinion, the easiest step to do, and a bit more understandable step to do in the whole marketing scheme than figuring out what are the Instagram analytics and how this whole thing, numbers, etc., works, right? Because if you know the right people, if you connect to the right people, or if you want to collab with the right people, things are way better than actually just, hey, let me just post this here real quick. That's
Right.
so methods in a nutshell, because we were kind of like going too deep in that topic. What you need is networking, social media, of course. Regularly posting on social media is a big plus for you. And depends on what works in your country, like, because there's also like the country-based marketing tricks and everything else. But in the very beginning, I think focusing on network and growing your social medias is the most valuable thing on the planet.
Absolutely.
And moving on, hello to everyone who just came. Hello. I'm sorry that I'm not like Ghost Kebab. Yeah, that too. Eris, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome. Zombie Legion is asking, are you able to upgrade characters and hoverboards? I think we spoke about it. Did we?
Yeah, so actually, hopefully in a minute we can play the game and you guys can see for yourself. But Overrider is based on gadgets. You discover and purchase different gadgets. And these different gadgets, they give you different abilities. These gadgets, they have different levels. Like, for example, you can get the same gadget but at different level, and which will have, better stats, etc. But throughout the game, you kind of keep finding different gadgets and you keep equipping them, and yeah, that's how you do the upgrades and your skill tree, if you even want to go there, for the character. Basically, different gadgets give you different abilities. Like, for example, you have even a gun which allows you to shoot enemies. You can throw bombs, you can use special kinds of boosters. We have a lot of them, and we have a lot more planned for development. It's basically regular roguelike stuff where you just, have an RPG element and you discover stuff, and this kind of builds your character. And here we wanted to kind of reduce the randomized aspect of it, because in a lot of roguelike games you kind of, keep moving forward and you just receive random stuff and you have some limited choice, but it's all up to the randomization, which is sometimes pretty cool, but sometimes kind of annoying. Here we have a couple of aspects that are not really up to the randomization, kind of give you choice what you want to develop. There is some randomization, of course, and there are some choices that you can make to kind of swing in a certain direction that you want. So, for example, if you want a speed build, you can go for that. Maybe you can go for a build that makes you jump really high and make you have like a double or triple jump, which also is combined with another jump ability that makes you jump high. And then you can also equip a boost mechanic, which makes you shoot in the air, and then on top for the cherry on top, you can also equip a hover mechanic, which then lets you keep this air momentum that you've gathered. So you can do a lot of different things. Like, for example, you can unlock blast protection armor, which reduces greatly the damage from explosions, and then you can equip a grenade, and then you can throw the grenade in your feet, and then bam, you have rocket jumps. So yeah, it's all about the build and how you're going to construct them. But this happens with a lot of playthroughs. So you're going to figure out different strategies and different gears and how they work together.
So basically, essentially, what you're answering is yes, you can change the characters and sort of hoverboards, right?
Yeah, and a lot of the abilities actually have a visual representation on the camera, on the character. Like, for example, you can have the gun in your hand, or a helmet, or something attached to the hoverboard that yeah, so you have a lot of visual representation as well.
That's awesome. That's awesome. That's amazing. Alrighty, let's see if there was anything else juicy, because if not, I have a question, but I feel like we should do a small, like, 2 minute, 3 minute break, 5 minute. I would say 5 minutes because I always take a bit of time to go to the toilet. So we can do a bit of a break. And my neighbors are banging because, hey, they're sick of me.
Oh yeah, of course.
Probably talking by now. Okay. Let's see if I missed something else. Am I missing something, chat? They are what? They're banging. I mean, okay, so.
Yeah, I just got that.
No, I mean, yeah, I know how I said it so many times that it doesn't even make me feel uncomfortable about saying it, but not in that way. Okay, because chat knows my, background of I'm cursed. I'm gonna say to you, I'm cursed. Whenever I go, wherever I am, there are people drilling.
There's gonna be renovations around you.
There are, since I moved in here, but that's not the only thing. I was spending my birthday and New Year in Sweden with my friends Zia and Ziwar. I'm not sure if they are here yet for now. Anyway, in the chat. And we were doing 2nd of January. I remember we were doing a cooking stream and we made the sushi for the first time in our lives. So we were just chilling, relaxing, I wasn't sure. I think I was looking for something specific to take so we can start cooking or something like that. And their neighbors have started drilling. They never ever drilled in the past, ever, because it's not in Bulgaria. Sweden's not in Bulgaria. Like, it's nothing like that. People don't drill. People are actually polite. You don't hear all renovations going on around when you walk past by the buildings or being inside of the building. And they started drilling. And I'm like, what is the chance?
What does people in Sweden never drill mean? Like, how do they make holes in their walls? Do they like have their manual drills so they don't make any noise or something?
Probably, maybe it's like a drill with a silencer on it, so you don't hear about, hey, an accident might have happened here,
Polite.
People are polite, yeah.
Yeah, they don't drill. Only in Bulgaria do people drill.
Oh, they
Nowhere
bang
else.
and they drill and they fucking break the. Oh, I had an accident years ago, like I think 10 years ago. Now that I remember it, my neighbors were removing an old pipes from their place. I think it was a heating pipe or something, and they were drilling. They were like, ripping them off the walls and stuff like that, and they did a hole on my ceiling. And I was playing on the computer. They were doing whatever with those pipes, because later on I saw it's a pipe, and there was this big of a hole, and everything fell in front of me. Didn't destroy my monitor, but everything fell in front of me. I looked up, and I see a hole.
Super bad.
I see a hole, and I was like, "What the actual in the world is this?"
Yeah, that's...
Like, imagine this happening right now with my neighbors, just trying to renovate, and like, boom, you have no ceiling all of a freaking sudden, because we don't need the pipes.
Yeah. Oh, right. Yeah, that's scary.
That was. I hope I'm not gonna experience anything like that, because they had to actually come and fix the ceiling afterwards, which thankfully they did. But then we were like, what the fuck are you been removing? They're like, oh, we just ripped off some pipes.
We just ripped off the ceiling.
Yeah, we just ripped off the ceiling.
We're removing our floor.
We're removing our floor and your ceiling at the same time. 2 in 1. The ultimate combo.
Dreamteck had to get more coke.
Get it all.
Coke. 3.
Oh, that's that. Yes.
Okay.
Of course. With all my due respect, yes.
Yeah.
Here before, like, I will try the game, I promise. Like, I hope nothing is gonna crash. Before we proceed to the crashing part of my computer while I'm streaming and broadcasting the game and trying to play with a keyboard and a mouse, I wanna ask you, if you had one day, what game would you make for one day and release it? Like design and release it in one day. What will be the type of a game you're gonna do in such short time? If you only had the 24 hours to do everything, what would you do?
This is what game jams are all about. Well, oh, I really don't know, because I'm honestly, I don't have any clear idea of what kind of game I would do in one day, but I mostly would probably do something that's not related to a movement mechanic. Like, I would probably do something that's related to more like management typing, something that has like a player progression. And bravo, Danny, for the subscription.
Thank you so much for the tier 1, Danny.
As we say,
Giving you all
Evala.
the cringe. Evala. Elisa dracou para Pepsi. It's kind of interesting.
Okay, so
yeah.
it's probably gonna be something very small with pixel graphics that kind of represents, kind of reminds of an old Game Boy game, but it has an addicting loop, something like this. I'd do something like this, but definitely needs to have some sort of progression with an upgrade system or something like this. I think it's totally doable for one day, depending on what kind of game it is, of course.
And how would you imagine the whole process will go if you had to design that game for one day? Like, how would you imagine your 24 hours to be like?
No sleep.
Obviously, without no sleep,
obviously.
like, do you have like a strategy in your head?
We've already actually done that. Like, we've been to a couple of game jams. We actually go to Plovdiv Game Jam. The last couple of years we kind of skipped, but I was part of the game jam in 2017. I think we made a game with a drunken fox that was building a tower, and it was trained on an island, and then like water was coming from all over the place, and it kept ruining the tower, and the water level was kind of rising as well. So your goal was to kind of gather resources, build the tower, and then water periodically comes and destroys the tower, and you kind of keep rebuilding it. Anyways, so how would you go about that? I mean, you can't really afford to think about project architecture, code architecture, things like that. So all of these things, they kind of go right out the window right away. So you need to be thinking directly about the game mechanics, what you can pull out for a pull off for this restricted amount of time, and basically just start doing it. Like ugly code, horrible assets, no or project organization whatsoever. Just slap everything together as quickly as possible, polish everything, and just go for it. Whereas when you're gonna be making this game, for example, there is a lot of architecture planning involved, and we had because before we started making it, we spent about a month, maybe a little bit less, just planning what's gonna go where, what systems are there gonna be, how are they gonna be connected, how are they gonna be communicating with each other. Just planning the software engineering, that takes a lot of work, and then we started implementing it. But when you have like 24 hours, that's obviously not gonna happen. And basically it's a good idea to just rush it.
It's a good idea to just rush it.
Just rush it.
YOLO. Yes, that is that YOLO, no thinking. Just there you go.
Yes.
Hey.
Just make a game.
And in that sense of topic, I also wanted to ask you, what did the developer said when he found a bug in his code? What did the developer say when he found a bug in his code?
What did the developer say?
I don't know, I'm asking you, you're the developer. What did the developer say when he found a bug in his code?
Usually we go like, huh.
That's the right beginning of the answer, and then
Well, I didn't write it. I didn't write it to be like that.
no.
I don't know.
Well,
do I need to figure out the answer to that?
I mean, kinda, yeah, but this was one of the hidden questions anyway. So the answer is, aha! I found my new source of entertainment.
Ah, right. Yeah, it's as we say in the industry, it's not a bug, it's a feature. If
Exactly,
it's crazy
exactly.
enough, it's now a feature. It's not a bug. So yeah, it really matters how you present it. Yeah.
Because when I asked you for the question about what would you do in one day, and when we came to the conclusion that everything should be YOLO, then that means a lot of bugs
Yeah.
equals a lot of source of entertainment. So there
one
you
of
go.
my favorite coding memes, like there's like two pictures, one next to each other with the developer. On the one picture it says the developer, my code doesn't work and I have no idea why. And then on the second picture is like, my code works, I have no idea why.
Oh,
And
yeah,
it sometimes
yeah,
happens,
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah,
we
yeah,
look
yeah.
at the code, we see a bug that causes some problem, we start fixing the problem, we found a very, very grave issue in the code base that is we weren't aware of, but this bug kind of led us to that. And we're like, how has it been working all the time? This shouldn't be working in theory, and we can't figure it out. We're like, I don't know how it works. So
Magic.
yeah, sometimes it
Magic
happens.
numbers and magic code.
Yeah.
Whew, are we ready for me to load the game? Method.
Just try to capture the display. It's been working for us.
Yeah, yeah,
well
yeah.
enough.
I'm gonna do that instead because this game capture is. Okay, hold on.
What? No. Ah.
Uh.
What? Ah, you scaled it back.
Ah,
Nice.
ah.
Okay, big brain.
Big brain time. Hells yeah, baby.
Okay, let's play the game without any kind of.
This is a
special
game
effects
capture
I do.
source. I removed the display one because it goes to. Beep,
Right.
boop, beep, boop, beep.
So let me know how the game plays after.
Yeah, you'll see, you'll see, you'll see.
It doesn't have effects right now, but that's not so bad. I mean, hopefully.
Objective updated.
Is it all right, or is
Yeah.
it still like?
I mean, it's smoother, I would say. The booties are on standby. Yes, pass. Hi. Booties are always on standby. And the banner, full-time banner. Yeah, we're gonna be booties on demand and full-time banner. I don't know how to move with my keyboard, but that's okay.
Okay, so a quick rundown through the controls. The shift key is the rotor shift mechanic. Rotor shift is basically you basically invert the flow of air from your rotors. So you can use this when going downhill to gather momentum, but if you use this while going uphill, you're gonna probably stop or reduce your speed. So holding shift when going down helps you go faster downhill.
Okay.
You can also hold shift while in air to kind of land immediately. You can hold the left mouse button to perform the boost mechanic, and the right mouse button while in air allows you to make tricks. Tricks charge your energy, which is not currently visible.
No, you're not supposed to be
What did you
destroying
do?
yourself.
Yeah. So you need to not press shift while performing tricks, otherwise you're just gonna land right now. Okay, you did one trick. Failing to land a trick also kind of takes away from your health.
Okay, yeah, I see that.
And yeah, so the beginning of the game is mostly about, like, for example, just a
That's
disclaimer.
cool.
This is an unfinished area here, hence the white cubes and everything. But yeah, you gotta have to figure out how to get
Oh
from
my
place
god,
to
I'm
place.
dead. Am I? No. Oops. I mean...
No, there's no fall damage.
Okay,
Yeah.
there's no full damage. It's pretty cool. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
amazing. I'm gonna go back to that building. And I need to find those, igrytte Hawk. Hells yeah, on your services. Ha! Okay, so... Oh, wow. I have to learn how to tap strafe with that, you know.
You're probably not gonna be able to make the tricks from a standstill. Oh wow, that's a bug. That's a bug.
Wait.
The T-pose.
Oh, what? What is a bug? Wait.
The moment where she kind of stood straight on the board with her legs one behind each other and like
Okay.
the hands to the sides. So that's a bug. That's an animation bug.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Oh, it's giving you the directions where you should move it, because I saw that little light that shows you how to like rotate it. Like, I don't know if that makes sense. It's
Nope.
like
Sorry, I just kind of got lost.
it's okay. That little light that I see on the front, like the engine or whatever it is. But in any case,
okay, yeah. So that's a temporary effect. It kind of shows you that if you hit something, you're gonna inflict damage.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't see this and you hit something, you're not gonna inflict anything.
Okay. Oh, I see a robot. How do you fight them again?
You bash them at high speed. Not like that.
And then you have the music on. Love it. What about the music? Where did you get the inspiration from the music? Who did it? You know, if you can give us a bit more.
Oh yeah, so the music is composed by a very talented composer called Alex Kostov. We're working with him. We worked with him for our previous title, Lifeslide, and right now we're still figuring out how exactly the music should sound, where it should sound, where it should be played, all the music cues and all the music rules, because there is also design involved for the music. But yeah, we're figuring out the music as right now. We are experimenting with different genres. Basically,
No,
it's a work in progress. But Alex has a lot of ideas, and we just keep throwing references at him.
Mm-hmm. That's amazing.
That was a solid first run. You got killed.
I want the people are clapping chat. Thank you. For such great achievements. I'm the best, you know. And it turns me directly to the main menu.
Yeah, and you click continue and then you try again. Try killing one robot.
I did already, didn't you see? I did.
I think it exploded in your face.
It's dead, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
You did not. Yeah, Danny says. Can you grind slide along walls? Yeah, there is a fair amount of wall riding, but it's related to physics, so it's not like a fake wall riding where you just like press space again up to the wall and you just gonna stick to the wall. It's more like if you have the momentum and then there's like a ramp that's gonna throw you along the wall, then yes, you can ride the wall vertically, and yeah, you can pull off a wall ride.
Ooh, what's that?
This is a cable.
Cable. Okay.
Yeah, this is a cable.
Damn. Nothing to see here. I'm out of here. It looks like a cave.
Yeah, it is.
Now that I thought one person from your team had said something about caves.
So you can follow this cable.
Follow the cable.
It's gonna lead you to something that you can interact with. Like you were going in the right way. Just don't go back.
Yeah, but you said follow the cable, and I was.
Yeah, but like the other way, the other end of the cable.
Okay.
See where the other end of the cable goes, and if you destroy that thing, it's going to open the door.
Mm-hmm. A cave bowl? Yeah. The other cable, yeah. That feels like a
Also,
home.
I'm
living in a cave.
You can use the attack to kind of also move faster uphill.
Okay.
But you need to make sure to make tricks after that so you can recharge your energy.
Okay. So that's the cable in the cave. Oh. So I have to destroy that.
You gotta bash it.
I don't don't know what I'm gonna be doing. Anyway,
Maybe you didn't have energy.
That's interesting.
Oh, you got some resources.
Nice. That's interesting. So, what did open this one?
No, you go to the other end of the cable and see.
Excuse me.
Yeah, that's a common bug that we had. That
Yeah. The locations have been marked. Where are those locations?
Everywhere.
Yeah, but for what are they?
Yeah, that's one of the problems of the game right now. It doesn't explain anything. They're just locations which you can visit.
Okay. Interesting. Okay. Just we have locations. No, I mean you can get a very nice what do you call it? Excuse me.
So these are health chests. They give you health items, but right now your health is full, so you don't have to.
Did you have inventory? An Apex survey beacon? Yeah, an Apex survey beacon.
No, you can't. You can't like use them later. You either pick them up now or you come back and pick them up later, but you can't store them.
I see. I mean, it still looks awesome. Now, how do I go back down?
Either through the hole in the ground. There's no fall damage in the game, so you can go to the other end of the cable if you want. See if
I'm gonna follow the location, see where I'm gonna end.
Sure.
And the more you play, the more problems need solving. Well, that's the. I'll be glad to give them accurate feedback.
Nice. Okay, so that's your first kill. Just remember to do tricks, because right now I'm guessing I cannot see your energy bar, but I'm guessing it's pretty low.
I mean, it's relatively low.
Oof.
That was close.
That was indeed close. I think you should go back and get your.
Yeah. Get the rest of them.
Don't do tricks. Don't risk it. Just go back and just get the health.
I remember where I came from.
Yeah, that's the right direction.
Yeah, it's mainly. I think it's mainly for controller, right?
I develop it with a controller mainly, but we have other people who are developing it with keyboard. So it's basically both keyboard and controller. We try to make it accessible in both. Oh yeah, you collected them through the walls.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Oh, nice. Is that a feature or a bug?
No. Oh man.
So is it?
What's going on? What's even going on here? Of course.
That's
the minute somebody else takes the game. I
like
cannot explain this. I cannot explain this. I don't know what's going on. I don't even know how you produced it. I don't know if I can reproduce it.
Finding bugs. Well, hey, I
I'm
mean,
glad you had a fun time with the bugs.
I will definitely have more fun time. I just need to get a controller. But I mean, with keyboard, I think it's gonna be even better feedback from me if I'm playing it with a keyboard, you know, with all the controls and stuff like that. Because I would imagine most people will by default play it on controller. And I don't know, how does it work when you have to code it around both things? What are the chances? Hard. Yeah, for sure. But what are the chances for you to generate more bugs for the PC players per se versus the control players?
Nah, it's not the case, because like we have a system that abstracts both input methods. The challenge is, like, for example, what makes sense in terms of a controller doesn't make sense in terms of keyboard and mouse, and the vice versa. So for example, holding a couple of buttons on the controller and holding the same couple of buttons on keyboard may not make sense and may not be comfortable. Like for example, I'm just gonna get my controller to showcase it. For example, here on controller, I have like left, right, up, down with the analog stick, and then I can hold. I can be holding trigger. I can be holding the other trigger. I can be holding A. So I can be holding a good bunch of buttons
Yeah.
basically. Actually, I don't know. I don't know if you can see it. So yeah, I can hold a lot of buttons on a controller, and
Yeah.
I cannot do that on the keyboard, which is a little bit. You have to think about the design process, and you have to design around it. So you have to make it accessible to both players somehow. Maybe one of the control methods is always going to be superior. For this game, I think it performs way better than with a controller,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
But yeah, we do our best to also kind of keep the keyboard and mouse players engaged. They do have a good uh, they do have also something that works really well on the controller. It's the mouse look. So you basically on the keyboard and mouse is the mouse look, because on keyboard looking around is just like way more intuitive and more simple than just using a control stick to kind of turn around. So
Yeah.
there's that. But in terms of controls, sometimes it's a little bit. For example, on a controller, I can hit, for example, this key, like the X and the A, for example, and
Yeah,
still
different
move.
combos as you said yourself. Yeah.
Yes, and I can still move. But for example, if I have to do it on the keyboard, and for example, I assign this X key on the controller, I would assign the action to the F button on the keyboard. Then I either have to fat finger them so that I can press both the D buttons to straight left and the F button, or just hold the F key, which doesn't allow me to move to the right
Yeah.
simultaneously. So yeah, there are differences, key differences between both input methods, which need to be designed around, and we need to keep in mind that we need to place, picking up which choosing the proper actions for the given control scheme is very important, because some actions you're going to be using way more frequently and in conjunctions with other actions. And other actions might be used a little bit less frequently, and then you can afford to put them in further places on the keyboard in
Yeah.
the controller.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And yeah, Method was asking the goal of the game: do tricks and kill robots. And I mean, you can just briefly answer this one if you would like to, because we went through it actually. And yeah, that's on one side, just killing robots and doing tricks to regain the energy. But if I'm not mistaken, you will do a bit more of a story behind it, kind of like a
Yeah,
progress.
there's a story. You have a lot of abilities that you can trigger.
Yeah, you told me the story. Yes.
Yeah, basically, it's a standard roguelike loop, and you need to find a teleporter that you need to travel. So basically, you roam around the map, you look for pieces of guidance, you look for resources, you look for abilities and gadgets, and after that, you find a teleporter and you travel. And with each travel, there is uh, an AI alertness level, which raises because inside the game, the story is such that you travel through a digital space. So whenever you travel to the digital space, the AI kind of gets alerted. So it kind of brings more and more robots to fight you. So you're gonna end up fighting more and more robots along the way.
And by the end of it, I would like to ask you, what advice would you give to someone that is starting a design for the first time? Like, what advice you would give to the fellas that have the same passion as you and that want to create games?
So my advice would be really, really to give up now before it's too late. Nah, well, I'm kidding. It's a hard road, undoubtedly, especially if you.
I was about to say, I'm sorry to disturb you. I was about to say, are you gonna say do ASMR as you almost went into the microphone?
Yeah. I know.
Do ASMR to get the extra money for the.
Never let them know your next move. But yeah, Well, basically, it's a lengthy process. It's a good idea to start designing something simple and move on from there. A lot of people are making the mistake of jumping onto very serious projects, like for example MMORPGs, stuff like that, and they get disappointed because you there's a there's a little that you know, there's a lot that you don't know, and there's like a big giant ocean of things that you don't know, and in design things constantly pop up. Designing a game is not just like throwing some random ideas and see how they work. For example, if you change something very minor in the game design, it might break the entire game design. It might make some stuff useless, uh, just like that. So things are so much connected, especially in a big project, and it's very important to keep that in mind. There are tools that allow you to visualize the connectedness of things in the design and help designers do that. But yeah, my suggestion is just try to design things that are very small at first. Give a couple of goals in different games where you don't think about game loops and stuff. Just design one thing, like design one combat mechanic, design one movement mechanic, or whatever it is you want to design, and then maybe make another game and design one loop. Then maybe you can design a nested loop. Then maybe you can move on to feedback loops, things like that. So there are a lot of components in design that you have to think about, but unless you kind of come face to face with them, uh, you're not gonna be aware of them. So, and because design is such a vague term, like designing one game can be vastly different from designing another
Yeah,
type of game. Uh,
absolutely.
you just kind of have to, try different things in a safe environment before moving on to something bigger. And believe me, for example, Overrider for us, for a lot of teams and companies, it might not be a super ambitious project, but for us, it has been a very big challenge. And I'm saying this is a good thing because like challenges are a great way to grow and to build your skills and to build your knowledge. But at the same time, Overrider's design has been very tough because we have some ideas, we try to make them work, and a lot of the time we just don't know how exactly to make them work, just because they're somewhat unique
Yeah,
combined in a
yeah.
unique way, that I would say. And in that case, when you don't know exactly how it's going to work, you just have to figure out, and you just have to do trial and errors. You have to analyze everything, and basically when you add something or remove something, there needs to be some strong argument to that.
Oh yeah.
Not just adding stuff for the sake of them, for so that they are there. Things need to be interconnected to make sense. You cannot make two separate game mechanics and think that this is great, because it's not going to work. Things need to support each other in the game in more ways than usually one. Uh, and this kind of knowledge and experience you build up with time and with different projects. And for us, for example, if you compare Overrider's design with Lifeslide's design, Lifeslide is a very simple design. It's a
Yeah.
linear game. You just go down. It's a good movement mechanic. You have just a basic upgrade system and a basic plane collection system. So nothing really special, nothing really super complicated.
Yeah, yeah.
In Overrider, we have tons of abilities, tons of enemies, more complexity to the levels, which are not linear now. And so all these design elements need to kind of start playing together at some point. And yeah, that's a challenge.
Oh my god, thank you so much. That's amazing. Well, thank you for your time, and thank you for being my guest in the first format of interviewing the dev. I was about to say interrogate the developers, but thank you so much for. And I don't have anything to give you now.
Thanks
But
for having me.
we can sign a contract. We can sign a contract later because this was supposed to be an interview, and I guess you're hired.
You're hired as well.
Oh, thank you. I guess we're just gonna hire each other.
Right.
Interview equals interrogate. Yeah, that is a fact.
We're mutually hired now.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to test it out. I'll definitely keep in touch to try all the bugs. I mean, hey, that's entertaining to let you know how I was entertaining myself with the game. And
I'll make sure to leave more bugs.
I'll keep the chat here so they can also watch with me. So we can, more people watching it at the same time will be able to determine better bugs and stuff like that. And yeah, we're gonna keep the giveaway open. And thank you so much for having me here. And thank you so much for the giveaway as well. All powered by Dreamteck. So
thank you as well. Being really fun. I love you and your community. You guys are great, and I wish you lots of success. Hopefully, you're gonna get bigger and bigger. And yeah, good luck on Dreamteck.
Thank you. Dreamhack is next month, so yep, I'm preparing mentally for that because it's gonna be a blast this time.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. Oh well, guys, I guess I'm gonna be going.
Alrighty, well.
And without further ado, I'm gonna turn off my camera and say goodbye.